Hi. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you tips on how you can think critically, how you can think for yourself. So let's start with why would you want to think critically? Because when you think critically, you are less easy. Yeah, you are less. Yeah, it's less easy to manipulate you because you form your own judgment. When you think critically, you do not fall victim for what is called, first of all, expert syndrome, where you believe somebody is an expert on a topic just to realize that he appeared to be an expert, or because of he was so loud mouthed, you believed him, and a lot of people believed him, which made you make your life choices based off what people believe. And we see this thing more often today where people are trying to push political agendas. They even push them on kids, teenagers, and all of that. So yes, the other reasons is, let's be frank, there's also another problem with what is called conventional wisdom. So what that means is what you know and everybody knows is either a lie or it cannot make you stand out. It's basically useless. So what that means is you cannot get rich by conventional wisdom. You cannot attain any level of success. You can't even live authentically using using conventional wisdom. So other reasons, and then let's talk about why people don't like to think critically. I've discovered that some people prefer to blame their lifestyle consequences on beliefs they inherited. So it's almost like they don't want to take accountability for themselves. I mean, it's the 21st century. Another reason people do not like to think critically is because when you think critically, you question beliefs, you question everything. And when you're talking to people, precisely people who you really love, and you hear them question, they hear you question their beliefs, it begins to feel like an attack on them. So they might want to ostracize you. The worst part is that if you're working towards a goal with your with your critical thinking, they would want to see you fail. They would hope you fail. And this is not a motivational video because I still have more tips coming on. I mean, you see people like Socrates, Plato, whose works were accepted after their death, decades, centuries after their death. But while they were alive, they were not given the respect. They were hated by the masses. The masses basically wanted them dead because they stood different. And each time I look at Steve Jobs speeches, you get to realize that he was a critical thinker. Like I always say, Steve Jobs is the foundation of Apple. I mean, the Apple that we know today. So let's get into it. What are the tips I have for critical thinking? The first tip I'll say is become self aware. I mean, that's the first step. Just become self aware. And there are different ways to become self aware. I don't mean all these spiritual gurus, self awareness. I'm referring to things like have a goal. Have it at the back of your mind that almost everything or almost everyone is wrong about their beliefs. Yes, like I said, some things are solidified conventional wisdom, but a lot of things are assumed, and carried on for centuries. And as time goes on, I'm pretty sure you will know what to get caught up. So when you become self aware, your next step is to question everything that's out there. Question everything. I mean, so when you question everything, precisely, and most especially what everybody believes in, and there's a high chance you're going to question religion. Question it. I was talking to a Christian mom, and she says that her son is sliding towards atheism. And I asked, well, do you believe in Christianity and that Christianity is the way? He said yes. If you believe that's the way, then why don't you let him go and come back? Because if he goes and he comes back, what that means is he's going to come back stronger. He's going to come back with the intention of winning souls. Hey, mind you, I'm not a Christian. I say it everywhere I go. Also, on this topic of religion, I tell people to look at spirituality from different angles, and you get to see the real message that all religions have to pass instead of listening to people who want to indoctrinate you into the shallow part of their religion. I'm not here to sell you on that. It's your task to read wide. So, after you have asked questions, you've sustained a level of curiosity. It would make sense to feed your mind. Feed your mind with all sorts of material. We have books, we have podcasts, we have basically have videos of today, of records, amount of data. Consume data that is aligned to the questions you're asking in your head. Also, people might assume that, oh, because you ask questions and you found an answer, it means you're probably done. No. Question it again. Question it further. Know why things are the way they are, not what they are exactly. I mean, you see people make life choices based on some funny research because they refuse to understand what is called first principle thinking. What that means is thinking about why things are the way they are, tearing everything apart till you know why things are the way they are. For example, I saw a research that says people who floss their teeth have better brain health, and that was coming from somebody who was at the store and telling somebody else why she's buying dental floss. And I figured that, wait, hold on, is it that flossing makes your brain healthier, or the people who floss are people who take their habits serious and they take their health serious, and by doing so have better brain health? So you see where I'm going to with all of this? That a lot of people borrow their beliefs. Some beliefs are good, some beliefs are ill intended. I mean, if you look at the fact that a couple of years or maybe decades ago, doctors believed smoking was cool, was good. It took them over a decade to reverse that decision. Even we are down to milk. And then we are seeing these days that things like milk are actually not as healthy as they promised. But we feel healthy, we feel things have gone beyond what I would say are practical. Let me see. Now you've questioned everything. You're feeding yourself with good information. You're asking the right questions because asking the right questions is super important. And if you want to do this, practice this better, you have to ask open-ended questions. And then this also helps to spark curiosity because if you have like those little curious kids who ask you one question, I mean, and this technique is also used by Naval Ravikant to come to very smart conclusion where he asks a question, he finds something that he thinks is the answer. He questions that again until he's sure that, okay, fine, I think I'm solid on this. By the way, it also helps to read ancient knowledge, things that have already been known to be fact already. At the same time, like I said, conventional wisdom is useless. You get to realize that a lot of these things that have been ancient knowledge, bringing it down to today's knowledge doesn't make sense because most people believe lies. They believe assumptions of other people. If you listen to Nightingale's talk on the strangest secrets, he said I think he was talking about a doctor who was interviewed in an airport who said, what is the problem with men today? And the answer was, they simply do not think. They would rather go with the group identity than just take a step back and question that, where is this group heading to? Why are they even going there in the first place? So, um, let me see. I like my soft bullet pointed. Now, there are two last points here, which is okay. I have three last points. When when you're looking for answers, sometimes learn to be open minded because, like I said, be open minded. The problem about being open minded is the fact that everybody just wants to throw in their ideas into your head. But no, be open minded. And the irony about being open minded is that you would get to realize that in the very end, we are all responsible for our actions. So, what I'm saying this is because I meet guys who would rather be quote unquote in touch with their feelings, be okay to be maybe feminine, and say, okay, it's fine, it's all right. We shall all reap what we sow. When I say this, they make it sound like I'm insulting them. I say no, because I have thought from first principles of as a masculine man that I am, I have things, I have benefits I'm going to reap. And as a feminine boy as you are, you have things, or rather as they are, they have things that they are going to reap. So it's not about right or wrong, it's about what works for you. Because if you think critically and put things into context, you get to find out, like I said, why things work. An example to this is imagine this story. You walk up to two of the greatest artists and ask them, how do you create such great work? One tells you his artwork, art is being created by removing things, not what you add onto them. The second one tells you, no, great art is by what you add, not what you remove. But if you take a step back and realize the one who removes things is the sculptor, the one who adds things uses clay to mold them, then you begin to get a sense of putting things into context. Because I hear a lot of internet advice, especially with content creators who, for the sake of trying to grow an audience, have intentionally removed some context, or because they do not practice some of these things in real life, they completely miss the point of some of these practices. So they cannot communicate properly to you. And that is why a lot of all of these productivity routines do not arise. They do not really succeed. They do not really, really succeed. So let me see what else is there. Um, and when it comes to thinking critically, one of the last important tip is called intuition. It's called intuition. We like to live in a world where we want to be logical, we want to think, we want to rush things out. When reality is, you cannot remove the power of intuition. And like Steve Jobs says, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backward. So what that means is sometimes some things will not add up, they will not make sense. But if you keep searching, and it's more powerful if you're searching towards a goal. Because often than not, the people who are wildly successful by by moving towards a goal is if you get to notice them properly, some of them had beliefs that their competitors never had. For example, Jeff Bezos, when he built Amazon, it took 7 years for him to have serious competition. I mean, that is AWS, sorry, Amazon Web Service. That's if you listen to Jeff Bezos, he has a lot of critical thinking skills. So it helps to surround yourself with people who have critical thinking skills, who don't just tell you, who don't just tell you some things, they tell you how they arrived at it. So because they tell you how they arrived at it, you can go back to your own drawing board, to your own mental canvas, and see the parts that came together. Sometimes they could be off, sometimes they sometimes they could be right. But the point of you know why things are the way they are. And I think we kind of like we're in a society where there's a standoff between genders, both genders, the male and the female. And the men are told to act in a certain manner. But the women do not want men who act in that manner. At the same time, women are also told to act in another manner that the men do not want. But like I said, if you learn to think critically, you will get to realize that a lot of the time it's just media hype, it's just media noise. Take a step back, observe properly, know what you really, really want. That's why I like this idea of starting with self awareness, precisely when you have a goal. Because when you have a goal, for example, if your goal is to get rich and to build a family, you will not see women as the same way these red pill guys see them. It's okay to be red pill aware, but it's okay to draw the line between evolution psychology and social media sensation. You will learn to draw the line because, like I said, you think critically. Nobody will just keep pumping content to you for the sake of enriching their pockets. So, that being said, I'll say one more point is please be patient. You don't expect to like wake up one morning and then before you know it, you are very, very good at critical thinking. It takes time. It takes time. And you have to trust it. Like I said, you have to think, you have to use your intuition. Both. Both. And I think intuition works best when, like I said, you're going towards a goal. You're constantly asking questions, open-ended questions for your subconscious mind to help you find the answers. I've ever wondered why you like had a problem. Then somewhere along the lines, an answer came up to you. Like you just figured it out. Bam. Like from nowhere. That's because your subconscious mind was already was already helping you to seek the answers. And like the Bible says, seek and you shall find. And Jordan Peterson puts this in carefully where you don't get what you don't aim at. You might get what you aim at. So you increase your chances of success if you aim, and you increase your chances of finding gold mines if you actually look for them. And the process to looking for them, it starts by asking questions, by knowing that you don't know everything, and then you are open-minded to knowing what it is. So I think that's basically it. I've just run over different tips for you to like think critically. Because and why I brought this topic up is because there are a lot of lies. And try to say the things that you know to be true is also something that Jordan Peterson says when it comes to when it comes to living a life that is worth it. It would help you. It will help you thinking critically, and it makes sense because when you tell the truth, you begin to form a sense of judgment. You begin to trust yourself and your intuition, rather your judgment. Because if you lie, you corrupt your judgment, and when you corrupt your judgment, your intuition cannot feed you the right answers because it's already warped, it's already misaligned. That's why I say to trust your intuition, to work with your intuition, you have to align your thought processes with awareness towards a goal, and you need to trust the process that the dots would connect at the end. So basically, that is it. I think I may have gone over a couple of points over and over again. So I think I'm taking this approach of making videos where I like structure my videos. So that's it. I think I've touched all of my bullet points. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please share my video with somebody who you think is going to impact greatly. It's you share my video with this also helps one to boost the channel. Two, it helps with the movement. And the movement is basically to get guys on this different sort of self-improvement journey of becoming well-rounded men, full stack men, men who uplift the society, the men who know that things are wrong, and you don't have to force people. You have to like inspire by living your own life as best and taking responsibility for your actions. That's it basically. So thank you very much. Please share my video, and if you're interested, I'm creating a brotherhood of men who are full stack, well-rounded men. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Share the video. Bye for now.